So I am Sayoshi Nakamario, and I created Badgercoin, and we're just going to do a quick rundown. Badgercoin is a meme coin on the Bitcoin Cash UTXO network. The gist is that you lock up some BCH, and you lock it up for a number of blocks. So in this case, we'll do 10 BCH for 100 blocks. This will be just under 1 day of lockup, and it'll earn you 1,000 Badgercoin. We can see that the Badgercoins currently distributed is just over 4 million so far. There's currently 76 locks. You can see 2 locks that are currently available to unlock, which I'll just click this one. And this little janky scroll bar will do its thing. And we can see that we have a success. So that lockup that was there is now we've initiated a Bitcoin Cash transaction just by clicking that. Like where we haven't connected a wallet, we haven't done anything. Anybody could do that even if you don't know what cryptocurrency is. If you saw that click unlock, it'll unlock it. Those coins have to go back to the person that locked them. So they just went back to whoever locked it up. No idea who that is, but the contract enforces it, that is required. So there shouldn't be any chance of losing coins by having them leak somewhere else, since the contract forces them to go back to whoever initially did it. So currently 171 BCH is locked up here. We haven't connected a wallet and we haven't done any locks, so this shows that I have 0. If you want to connect, you can just click the connect button and then sign in with a wallet connect wallet. So yeah, there's no pre-mine or developer reservation that I have or investors involved in this. This is just me, a random guy that has done this without holding anything back. There's no fees built in besides typical miner fee, but there is an extra 1,000 Satoshis on top of that. So it's kind of like 2 miner fees currently. I can technically increase that up to 65,536 Satoshis, but I haven't. The only reason I did this was the first app that I've ever made on Bitcoin Cash, and I wasn't sure how contention on the UTXOs was going to work for multiple people using the contracts because of the way UTXO works. So I just opted to have this additional optional fee to increase just in case there was issues. There hasn't been any, and this has been kind of pointless to do. So technically there is an extra 1,000 Satoshis is what it boils down to. So you're doing 2,000 Satoshis to do a transaction, which is still, like under a cent for Bitcoin Cash. But technically I've earned like $2 off of lockups that people have done over like a year of it running. So just FYI. Also, so like that unlock that we did for somebody, it does deduct 1,000 Satoshis from the balance that gets locked up. So you would technically lose another 1,000 Satoshis. So that pays for the miner fee to actually send it back to you. So when I clicked unlock, it deducted 1,000 from that balance, which allows it to go back to that person's address. You get 1 Badger coin for locking up 1 BCH for 1 block is what it comes down to. So if you have half of a Bitcoin Cash and you lock it up for 2 blocks, then that would pull out. So it's basically 1, 1, 1. You also technically get an additional honey NFT. So this is an NFT that doesn't do anything currently, but it does track how many Badger coins you got for your lock, and there might be future uses for that. So there's technically no use case for Badger coin right now, except for buying a Honey Badger NFT, which is a separate thing. So that's these guys here. And so these are typical 10,000 series NFT collection if they think across EVM and other chains. So again, no use case. They do have stats on them though that are actually part of the NFT themselves. So they're on the chain itself attached to this NFT. And there's no external server involved in this at all, which you could in theory use for things, which we'll see in a moment. So by default, 0.03 BCH. If you spend 10 Badger coins from your wallet, you can reduce that minting price by half. So this is just an example of like a mock-up of a game, web game that I was making where I could suck in the NFTs in your wallet and you can see the stats, and that's what these are here. So these NFTs would be detected by the game and they can impact the game. So I can like take the attack and defense values, for example, and then modify the game itself. So just to show that something like that is possible. There is also a market tab on Badgers.Cash, which doesn't do anything currently. I do have some contracts for auctions, so basically how eBay works. So that will be coming out at some point. The contracts themselves are on GitHub under Sayoshi Nakamario, Badger Stake. And if we check out the Badger Stake, so this is actually very simple. If you're interested in how this actually works, I tried to over document it a bit, like every single line saying what it's doing. And it's just this one contract. So when you do a lock, you lock up, you're doing this lock function. It's showing what your inputs are, what your outputs are, what the parameters you have to give, which are these ones right here, giving to the lock function, and then all of the steps and checks that are done along it. And then once again, if you're doing an unlock, you also have to do this function. And then the withdraw function is something only I can do since I control an admin wallet, a separate wallet. The only thing it allows me to do is run this withdraw because it checks a line here under admin address. And it just lets me take out those like extra 1,000 Satoshis for the lockups I was talking about. So like that $2 or whatever that's sitting on the contract. All it does is drain that and bring it back down to the initial amount. And then it lets me increase the fee as well. So if we look at, so we provide it a new fee, and then this new fee is somewhere in here. Down here. So we change the commitment on the main contract UTXO, and we just stick the new fee in there. So right now this is like the 1,000 Satoshi, so this can in theory go back up to 65,000 as I mentioned. So if you're interested in trying to learn Cash script, this is actually a really good contract to do since it's very simple. And that's basically Badgers. Very quick and easy and simple. Once again, it's basically just a token that has a fair distribution because I don't have much of it and I didn't hold anything back. So just give a little more example of connecting. So if we connect up here, this brings up the wallet connect. You can click this little, so if you're using a phone, you can just scan this from inside of Wallet Connect or whatever menu they have for the phone. But in this case, I'm going to use Cashanize web version. So I'm just going to click this to copy the link for it. Swap over to Cashanize, go to Wallet Connect, and paste in the link that it did. And then connect. It asks if I want to approve Badgers. We do. We are now connected to Badgers. And over here, we can see that my address is now showing up. At this point, if I had any lockup UTXOs, it would show right under this Badger Coin distributed section. And it would show you how long is left on it, and you can unlock it with the unlock button if it's unlockable and somebody else hasn't sent it to you already. In this case, if we're going to lock up, say 0.001 BCH for 1,500 blocks, that's about 10 days. I try to lock, and this is going to error out because I don't have this much BCH on my wallet currently. So it says it can't find enough Satoshis. You may need to consolidate. So if you do have enough BCH on your wallet at that point, it's probably because it's split across multiple UTXOs. So as a solution, you can just send your BCH balance on your wallet to your own receive address. So that basically groups them all together into one UTXO, and then you can try again. At some point, I'll be getting a button on here to make it a little easier for you to do that, which I've done on a couple different sites so far, just haven't got to Badgers yet. Another potential error would be if you lock up. So if you don't earn enough Badger coin, so you can see here it's showing 0. If you attempt to lock up, you require at least 1 Badger coin. So the contract won't let you do it unless 1 Badger coin is going to be given as a reward. If you do have enough balance and you send it over, it'll pop up over onto Cashanize or whatever your wallet is. It'll show you what's going to happen and ask for you to approve it. And you click approve, and you come back to here, and that's it. You'll get a little success in the corner. And currently, you do need to refresh the page to be able to see it. And that's basically it.